I learned artisanry as a kid because I made toys with my own hands. I used to go to the fields with my dad, and there was a lot of clay to play with. Back then, I didn't know about plastic toys. I always made my toys out of clay, out of mud.
Al menos yo nunca he conocido juguetes ¿cómo se llama? De lo que es de plástico, ¿no? Siempre hacemos de arcilla, de
My grandfather was a craftsman, so I guess it comes from the blood. In my village, as I told you, they were all craftsmen, potters.
artesanos, alfareros. Yo estoy rescatando
I preserve the traditional crafts of Ayacucho, of my people. They used ancestral techniques with natural colors.
ancestrales usando colores naturales, como estos, por
Like
ejemplo,
this,
este es
for
un
example.
platito,
This is a small
y estos
plate,
son los colores
and these are
típicos, es
Ichimay
un color
colors.
de
They are
tierra.
made with earth. I paint it like
Pinta en esa
this.
forma. Bueno, así
This is
pintaban
how our
nuestros
ancestors
antepasados,
painted.
¿no?
The
Por ejemplo,
people
la
from the
cultura
Wari
Wari,
Empire,
Chacha,
the
bien,
Chacha
ellos que
kingdoms.
la
The
cerámica
potteries
y
that
los
you see in the
huacos que vemos,
museums with their perfect
que
colors, this is
encontramos,
how
por
they are
ejemplo, en
painted.
museos, los colores están perfectamente así como han pintado, ¿no? Entonces, y en esta forma trabajaban ellos. Claro, en esta forma, mira, va absorbiendo la
This way,
humedad,
look, the ceramic
al
absorbs all
plato
the
que
humidity.
está seco, ¿no? Entonces, ¿cómo
And
hacían?
then you
El
polish
bruñido
with
con
this
esta
stone,
piedra, así.
like this.
Van
You
bruñendo
have to
así.
polish until
va
it turns
quedando el
really
hilo, ¿no?
shiny.
Claro, esta necesita
Of
bastante
course, you'll need a lot of
paciencia y
patience and
tiempo, ¿no?
time
Porque
because you
tiene
have
que
to
estar
redo this many
pasándolo así.
times, so it's not
Y
transparent.
otra vez repites para que no sea transparente. Hay que esperar a que desaparezca.
You
toda
have to
la-
wait for the moisture to
la
disappear.
humedad. Y vuelves.
And then you polish it again, like so.
Este es el color así como lo ves.
And this is how it turns out, after a lot of painting and polishing.
Y estas son las productos
These are old ceramics that I keep, handmade by our ancestors. I brought them from my village.
nuestros abuelos. Yo lo tengo acá rescatado, me he traído allá de mi pueblo. Están hechos acá, por ejemplo, esta es una tenaja.
For example, this is a jar that they use to put the chicha liquor and place it in the center of the table.
Y ponían la mesa, centro de mesa, y su tacita era esta.
Their little cups were like this. They'd put it like this, and when someone wanted some chicha,
Y al momento
they'd help
de
themselves
tomar
and
su
drink it.
chicha, se servían y tomaban. Salud, ¿no? Y esta es la casa.
This is a house from Ayacucho. Back there, every house has a tile roof. This piece represents our customs, our culture.
Nuestra cultura. En mi pueblo
In my village, people always help each other. They have kept the ancient customs of Aini and Minca. Here you can see the mason is finishing up the roof,
el albañil y la gente ya están
while people on the ground play music with harps and violin.
con arpa y violín y acá van
Here
cocinando
they are cooking, sharing,
y los vecinos
and the
también
neighbors
siempre
always
traen
bring gifts:
regalos,
potatoes,
papa,
wheat,
trigo,
chickens,
pueden traerte un gallito,
guinea
una
pigs.
cuy. Esa es la costumbre de nosotros.
Those are the costumes of Aini and
El
Minca.
aine, la minca,
We
seguimos
still practice them.
manteniendo todavía ya nosotros, ¿no? Entonces estas torres ponen acá
And every house in Ayacucho has this tiny tower on its roof,
y ponen también estas jarritas a sus costados, ¿no?
as well as little jars on the sides.
En Ayacucho siempre vas a ver con teja y torres que están puestas aquí. Ahí es la
The Aini costume works like this. I come help you, and when I have work to do in my house or in my field, you come to support me in order to give back the help I gave you.
esa ayuda que me has dado. La minca es
The Minca costume is when everybody from the village comes to work in a
todos
single
ahí
project.
ayudan, todos un grupo familiar, todos los vecinos te ayudan.
Those are the costumes of Minca and Aini.
En esta forma se
This is
trabaja.
one of my most successful productions. I produced so much of it in the last 10 years.
Para mí, producí casi 10 años en cantidad. Es una
It's a teacher.
campesina.
When I was a child, in my village, Quinoa, I saw a young lady surrounded by children, reading the Bible, the word of our Lord.
Y dictaba catequesis. La Biblia, enseñaba la Biblia, palabra de Dios, como nosotros somos. Este es un...
The lady was surrounded by kids in the field, and she taught them
Y
catechism.
la señora juntaba a los niños y llevaba a un campo y dictaba ahí la catequesis, ¿no? Y me acordé y diseñé este producto y presenté
So I designed this product based on that memory, and my clients liked it a
a
lot.
los clientes y como la historia, ¿no? Llegamos a artesanos independientes
Every artisan here came from different places.
de terrorismo,
I fled Ayacucho because it was very affected by terrorism. I arrived here when I was 16. My father told me we had to leave. I had to leave behind my family, my school, my friends, everything.
amigos, todo, ¿no? Llegué a Villa Salvador.
I arrived in Villa El Salvador at 16 and met a man in his artisan workshop. I started visiting him every afternoon. The man asked me, "Do you like handicraft?" I answered, "Yes." "Can you do it?" "Yes." "There are some projects that you can make. I have a lot of orders."
Pues hacerlo, tengo pedidos montón. Entonces ahí comencé a trabajar con él.
So I started working with him, and I stayed for about 6 years as I perfected my skills. He taught me how to carve, how to draw, the faces, the hands, everything, the colors.
Colores. Nos enteramos CIAP.
We discovered CIAP, which was a federation of associations from different
De
regions.
diferentes regiones que ellos tenían ya su cliente. Con la CIAP ganamos
With CIAP, we received a lot of orders. It helped us support our family, our workshop, our house, everything. They also provided us a lot of training. That's very useful.
También como hay capacitaciones, por ejemplo, recibimos capacitaciones con ellos, entonces siempre ellos están preocupándose en eso, ¿no? Pero en esa parte,
Fair trade used to be a good thing. It used to be very good. But nowadays, fair trade works like any other market. Clients will always ask for discounts. That's the problem right now with fair trade.
más rebaja. Te piden, mira, te dicen, a veces te dicen, yo quiero
Sometimes they ask you for 2,000 products, but with a discount. But handicraft is a sacrifice. We work for a lot of hours. The price is there for a reason.
Es un sacrificio porque tienes que trabajar bastante horas. La Ichima es la cultura.
The Ichma are an ancient culture who lived in the Lurin Valley. You have been at the sanctuary of Pachacamac. Pachacamac was built by the ancient Ichma, and Wari are the ancestors of the region where we come from. The Wari people come from Ayacucho.
Venimos de Ayacucho, ¿no? La cultura Wari está en Quinoa. Entonces juntamos los dos culturas.
So we put the two cultures together and named our association Ichma and Wari. We founded it in 2009.
Fundamos la asociación, la Ichimay Wari. Después de 4 o 5 años.
After 4 or 5 years, we decided to create the artisan neighborhood.
Ahora conocen por el barrio del artesano, ¿no?
We bought that little house there, that yellow house, and it became the local of our association.
Este es nuestro local de asociación de Ichimay Wari.
There we organize workshops for
Entonces,
children.
así, nosotros acá hacemos capacitaciones, clases a los niños. Hay un compañero que es
There's the colleague I was telling you, Mr. Emiliano.
¿A su taller podemos entrar?
May we enter your workshop?
Él es el artesano.
He's the oldest artisan of us all, and he was my master. I spoke to you about him.
También mi maestro, como le estaba diciendo. Y hemos venido a ver.
We came to see the workshop. Do you think we could visit it?
Pues, ahorita para que puedan verlo. Y los
All
talleres-
workshops here have these characters on their roof.
Sí, sí, todos estos 2 años de pandemia he pasado también, pues no he cambiado.
All these 2 years of pandemic, I haven't changed my job. I'm still making new designs. I'm still creating. It's practically part of my life.
En mi caso, por ejemplo,
In my case, for example, I have 2 sons who are in Argentina. One works as a security guard, the other as a nurse.
También ellos ven, como dicen,
As Emiliano says, our children see the craft as a very difficult job, where you have to work long hours and make sacrifices. They see that and they don't want to do it. Some of them help us to paint some things, to promote them on the internet, to make catalogs, all that, but they don't want to be artisans.
si es artesana ya no quieren. Tenemos la idea que nosotros,
Before the pandemic, we were giving classes to children.
dando ya acá en la loza, dando clases a los niños, ¿no? Un taller vivencial con los niños de nuestro barrio, toda esta zona. Entonces, había niños talentosos que...
An experimental workshop for all our kids. There were a lot of talented kids. But then the pandemic came and we had to stop. We're planning to start again this year or next to work with the kids from the community. Maybe some of them will become the next generation of artisans.
puede gustar el arte, ¿no? y apoyar a esos niños que aprendan a hacer la artesanía, ¿no?
Que el arte no es algo que no va a
Art
morir.
is something that will never die.
Podrá ser en una familia,
Maybe our craft will only be done by a single family, but things have
cosas han
changed.
cambiado. Ahora un
Craftsmen are entrepreneurs now.
Entonces veo,
I exhibited my works at an archaeological museum in Lima and sold a lot.
entonces he visto
I could see how a lot of painters from the National Art School sold their paintings in parks, while artisans run their workshops like businesses.
y los artesanos
Times are changing, you
manejando
know.
una empresa en nuestros talleres.